Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Konsui Fighter Live, episode 43.
Jeez.
So 43 of these. My name's Logan. I'm head of marketing PR for Circean Studios.
Yep, I'm Shane. I'm the director.
And Sean, one of the programmers.
So we have a lot of really, we have some super duper exciting announcements later.
Yep.
We have some things that we want to share that are brand new for a build that's in our experimental channel. And then we want to talk about Naka-Kon, which was the last convention that we were just at. So,
Yeah,
but other than that, I mean, how's everybody doing?
Good.
pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah.
It's been busy.
Glad the weather's nice.
Yeah, finally
Yeah.
done with all that wintry mix. But yeah, we've been pretty busy the last couple months.
Yep, conventions.
Lots of gameplay feature
Yeah.
development.
So, oh yeah, the I guess I haven't, or we didn't really talk about it even, or we haven't had an episode before that, but we did that interview.
Yes.
with,
On Pixel Breakdown.
Pixel Breakdown. That was
Yep.
pretty cool.
Yep.
So, so Emily, if you see
Yeah.
this, hey, that's Sean, by the way. You haven't seen
Oh,
him
yeah.
before.
I was in Japan.
Yeah.
he was-
Yeah.
But well, let's go ahead and let's jump right into kind of what is new for the game.
Yeah. So, yeah, we talked about Naka-Kon. That was kind of a goalpost for our last build, which is live as of, mid-March now? It's 2025.3. We got a number of gameplay features in there, so we'll talk about those a little bit if you haven't caught up on our development Discord. So one of the first major features that we have in this build is our new advanced training tools. I'm in training mode here, and you can see that there's some statistics in the corner of the screen. These are some of the attack statistics that you can get. But there's also a new training options menu here that will let you customize some different aspects of the training mode to lab things out and kind of experiment and practice for the game. So I'll run really quick through some of the highlights here and we'll kind of show off. So frame data here, you can actually turn on a frame data view so you can see the different hit and hurt boxes of the characters in real time. There's a couple different options around how damage is displayed if you want it to persist or dissipate when hits are actually delivered, so you can kind of see when the damage system is recording that damage. We've also got some options for the background. I've been doing a lot of my testing lately with the grid view now. So you can just turn on a grid that's kind of scaled to the in-game units, and this gives you a good way to get some precise measurements on attack distances and things like that. Let's see, what else? We've also got options for the CPU fighters. So right now it's just an idle, but you can have it do just kind of your typical jumping. You can have it do full four-score AI control, and it'll just kind of go through its routine. Thankfully, because this is training mode, I can't be defeated with a KO right now. Health and charge are currently set to regen, but you can adjust that here. So you can change the modes of the meters or just reset the session completely if you need to. And then, you can also tweak some CPU reaction options. So you can have it, for example, block all of your hits, and it'll just block every blow. You could also have it, something we'll talk about in a little bit, parry each of your hits, which is kind of interesting, and some other settings. So this should really go a long way to helping people kind of lab out things in the game and test it out and get a better feel for the nuances of the gameplay mechanics. So we're excited to get that in. There's definitely more features for the training tools. We're planning on future updates, so stay tuned for more there. Other gameplay enhancements, it's kind of hard to demonstrate, but there's been some adjustments to the overall movement profiles of all the characters for things like walking, dashing, dodging. Dashing is now treated as a non-neutral state for defensive reactions. So you can't block or otherwise defend while you're doing that. Similarly, we made some updates to the burst mechanic. That is not the burst button. That's super. So the burst mechanic used to be just a, look, it will hit past anything and you're invulnerable while you're bursting. And that doesn't really enable some good back and forth gameplay. So now you only have a very brief period of invulnerability right at the beginning of your burst. But after that, you could be countered, and the burst itself can be blocked. So if a burst is anticipated, it can be blocked or parried. Any kind of like defensive reaction is now eligible against the burst. Still knocks opponents away without dealing damage if they do take the hit from it. Let's see, what are some other highlights worth noting? There's a lot of little tweaks in here around the frame data versus the previous version. We made some updates for some normal attack chains that were a little cheap. So we're going to talk about our tournament at Naka-Kon, but last year we noticed that there's a particular person competing that kind of was not spamming, but repeating the same like 2 attack chain back and forth, which was like Isamu's. Here, let me actually turn off the auto parry for the AI and demonstrate. So it was like his strong slash and then a kick, which has a little forward momentum. So these could cross link into one another before, and it would allow you to kind of keep spamming it repeatedly. You'll notice I can't really do it right now. I'm kind of hitting the buttons back and forth. So we made some changes to prevent cross-linking those kind of moves that have built-in mobility, that you would have kind of an infinite-like chain that's just kind of cheap. You can still link from one to the other, but only for one iteration. You can't go back and forth when you have that. A big one for this build as well is kind of some improvements to execution skills. So we actually had a flaw in our move queuing system where it was possible to basically do an attack, and while doing that attack, input another attack, and the second attack would come out after the first finished, whether or not you make contact with the opponent. And that's not the intent. Like, you should only be able to link from one move to the other early if you make contact. So that was allowing a really generous like move buffering situation, which is interesting, but it kind of cut down on like player skill and timing your attacks well. So we've amended that now to fix that gap. So basically, if I were to do like a strong kick and let me do like a heavy kick and then a jab. So I'm not making contact here, so the jab is not coming out. But if I do it this way, it will, because I'm actually making contact. So this kind of adds a little bit more skill. We want to see a little more skill ceiling for people to be able to set up their combos and execute on them. So this goes a long way to helping that feel a lot better. And then some character balancing adjustments. Kyoki has actually been tweaked a little bit in that her disengagement capabilities are less, and Yasu has been buffed up to have a lot more higher engagement and disengagement capabilities, which enables her to have a little more distinctiveness as kind of a turtler style of gameplay. So I think those are kind of the big highlights for this build. Excited to get it out there, and we've got another whole round of stuff for the next build. I think we'll just transition into what we have there. So the first of which, like Logan mentioned, is the parry system, which as of this morning, we have in the experimental channel. So if you're not familiar with the experimental channel, it's basically a beta channel that you can opt into for the full version of Konsui Fighter on Steam. And this allows you to get kind of an early look at some of these features as we're rolling them out. You can play test them and chit chat with us on our Discord to provide some feedback to us about how it feels and so on. So it's a really good tool for that. There's some more detail in our Discord channel about how to switch back and forth between that and the full version of the game. But yeah, if you hop in today, you'll actually get the new update, which is version 161, I believe, which includes the first iteration of the parry system. So the parry system is basically another way to counteract your opponent's actions. The way that you do it is you quickly tap toward your opponent just before they would land a hit. And if you do it successfully, you'll get this kind of a parry hit effect. Let me turn off the frame data overlay. Oh yeah, you can enable adept mode if you really want to, and just get the frame data raw for clarity's sake. So a lot of interesting opportunities there. But yeah, so you'll get this parry effect. Your character will flash a light blue, and you'll get this light blue hit effect. Well, that one was a perfect. I'm getting there. You'll also notice there's no pushback there. So you stay pretty engaged with the opponent. That's intentional. So if you parry, notice that Kyoki's health meter, she's not taking any damage from these hits. And parrying will do that. It basically completely shrugs off the damage from that hit. But you do have to parry every individual hit. So if the opponent's using a move that hits, 1, 2, 3, you need to parry 1, 2, 3 at that pace to counteract each blow if you want to fully parry the move. So yeah, another advantage to parries is that, you stay engaged and you recover more quickly than a block. So blocks have the advantage of, look, you just defend. You hold back, you're going to block a good majority of the damage, and you will come neutral quicker than being hit. Parries, you have to time very, very tight. There's a little more risk because if your timing is off, you're going to take the full brunt of the attack. But they can be really handy for turning the tables on your opponent. And then, occasionally, if your timing is really good, you'll see the AI occasionally flashes purple and has a purple effect like that. And that is a perfect parry. So if your timing is really precise to when the hit would take effect, you'll get a perfect. So it's probably hard to tell in training mode what the difference is, but a perfect parry basically completely negates the hit. It's as if you have not been hit at all. So the opponent gains no charge, there's no damage dealt. It does not count as delivering a hit. Mm-hmm. So for the purposes of attack chaining, like I said earlier, you have to make contact to link from one attack to the other. This negates this. So your opponent will whiff, cannot link, and you come back neutral almost near instantaneously, depending on the strength of the attack. So again, really good maneuver to counteract the opponent, but there's some risk involved there. We've got that out there. We're really curious to hear people's feedback on this. How does the parry system feel to you in play versus other people, versus the AI opponents? Does the skill required to execute it feel fair? It's not too easy, not too tough. The split between getting perfects and standard parries, those kind of things. So we'd love to hear the community's feedback on that and get some thoughts on that. But I think that's it for showing off the build.
Yep.
So we can talk a little bit more about upcoming features. Sean,
Yeah.
you have been busy working away on some features behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah, we're rolling our own friends list support for this. Is allowing us to combine multiple platforms into one friends list for you. You'll be able to add different things from different friends from different platforms, and you'll be able to see that in there. We're still working on parts of things like the interface. I'm mostly working on the back ends, and there's some tricky bits on how to get that to work. It's not as easy as within Steam. You can obviously just invite people, and you'll still have your Steam friends, but within the game you have to kind of invite them using a different type of friend code, similar to what Nintendo uses.
Yeah.
So we have a whole scheme for that to make that easy. I think it was a 6-digit. I forget what we said. 8.
I think.
Okay.
2 sets of 4.
Yeah. And they're easy patterns, so they're nothing crazy.
Yep.
But yeah, it's coming together. I'm basically to the point of testing. Things like my trip to Japan kind of delayed it a bit. But
we've been making good progress.
Yeah. We're doing pretty good. And then once that's all in place, we should be good to work on the interface.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, so look for that in one of our upcoming builds. It's probably going to come after the next one,
Mhm.
but we'll definitely have some more updates on that and probably showcase it and give a run through of it once it's ready to share. So on that note, we have another build that we're working on. The parry system is one of the first major features for that build, but I wanted to take a moment just to kind of quickly summarize some of the other key gameplay updates that we're planning for that build. So core gameplay updates would include some tweaks to charge moves. People aren't really inclined to use charge moves very often because you're spending a pretty good amount of time disengaging from your opponent. You're telegraphing it a lot, and they tend to have a pretty big startup that can be countered pretty easily.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at some different ways to handle charge moves. One of the things that we had someone suggest at Naka this year was looking for a neutral charge, so sort of like a down back. Now, we obviously don't have downward stances for the characters, but we have some thoughts we're going to be experimenting with to see how we might facilitate something like that.
Mhm.
That may or may not end up coming to fruition, but we'll see. It's got to be a good fit between both the touch and normal control schemes and just the flow of gameplay.
Yeah.
But we're going to try it out in a couple different iterations. And then in general for charge moves, one of the things we're probably going to do, we showcase the new parry effects here. We have kind of a new mechanism we baked in for how to do like flashing effects and some other overlay effects for the characters. So we're probably going to add a little bit of a subtle visual indicator when your held input considers it held or charged, so you can kind of tell when that timing is a little bit better. And then we might start playing with invulnerability a little more. So we might adopt a broader approach of most charge moves are going to be invulnerable up through their startup period. Now, maybe there'll be specific ways to counter them. But we're going to do some experimentation there too. So maybe, it's not as risky because your opponent has more limited options to counteract that once you get it to come out. So that's one. I mentioned invulnerability, the charge aspect, and some other aspects of invulnerability like supers we're going to be taking another look at. Standardizing some of the air down attacks, which we're kind of referring to like air crush or air crash attacks. There's some things we want to do to distinguish those per character a little bit more across some different aspects of the game mechanics. And then what I guess we can call like alpha counters, if you're familiar with Street Fighter Alpha series or V counters or things like that. Basically, another close neutral or like sort of footsie play of having another way to counter the opponent. So this would be a mechanic where likely you would block, but block with an attack command. So this would potentially be each character having one, because a block attack is typically the grapple command. So this would probably be something where whatever the inverse attack button is for each character from their grapple command would be their counter. We're going to give this probably our own weird name within the terminology of Konsui Fighter, but so that would basically do a quick defend and immediate like attack counter. So we're going to experiment with that too, see if that's a good fit. Might be getting a little thick on the counter options, but we're trying to make sure we have a good mix of options in that close gameplay scenario. And then just general character balance, pass, and time to kill improvements. Our average round time during the recent tournament for Naka-Kon was about 33 seconds, which may or may not be an issue, but like the clock doesn't really tend to play much of a role in risking a timeout. We like to see a little more of that, so we'll probably be looking at overall like health pool, damage balance, time factors.
Yeah.
I don't want to just prematurely stretch out the rounds, but we're probably going to find some balance between maybe decreasing the default round time from 90 seconds down to something a little more reasonable, and then aligning that with a little more interactivity for a typical round. But I kind of also like the concept of us having like a quicker, back and forth round to round thing. So we'll see. We're gonna find a good balance there. And then, as mentioned earlier, some additional training mode features for the tools. So that'll be part of our next major release, which is we're shooting for in about a little over a month for something that we'll talk about.
Something.
But yeah,
I don't know what he's talking
before
about.
we get to that, we mentioned like a lot of those updates in the latest build were for Naka-Kon.
Yeah.
So how about we talk about
Yeah.
Naka?
So Naka-Kon was about a month ago.
Yeah.
And this was another really great showing.
Yeah.
I didn't plan to, or I didn't take as many pictures as I wanted to.
Yep.
But typically our booth is set up with 5 demo stations, and we had people there all the time, so that was really great. Got a lot of really good feedback. So it's always great to kind of see the people that we see last year or the previous years, come back and be like, oh man, like, it's just to see like what's new this year and all that.
Yeah.
So they're always happy to see, that the game's progressing. And then there's plenty of new people who either that's their first time in Naka or they don't hang out in the gaming area very much.
Yep.
So that was really great to be able to interact with them. We had another tournament, and that went pretty well.
Yeah.
We had, I think, 20-ish.
20 registrants.
20 or 22, I don't remember. But it was a really fun time.
Yeah.
And our third placer last year won first place this year.
Yep.
So shout out to Vox.
Yep.
So it was really cool to, he's been playing the game a lot. So he's been, working on it to take that first place spot.
Yep.
But tournament, everybody, I'm pretty sure everybody was new to the game.
A good deal. Yeah. A good deal of people were brand new to it, which was cool.
And everybody who like last year's, the person who won first, I think that he played at the booth for maybe like an hour or two before the tournament. So he got like some practice in. But like our second and third placers, like they never touched it until I was like, hey, we're doing this tournament. And they're like, oh, well, sure, why not? And so that was really, really, that was cool. So
I remember one of the kids like just saying to like it's somebody else, "Is it okay if we practice before the tournament?" It's like, yes. Most of the other people haven't done it. So.
Yeah. So it's I've been doing these enough to where I think whenever we do like Naka-Kon specifically, I'll probably keep doing these tournaments just because they're really fun.
Yeah,
they're a lot of fun.
It helps too that it's a local convention. We have a good spot. Like it makes a lot of it really easy.
Yep.
So
and we're going to be watching it again.
Yeah. So actually, after we're done with this episode of Konsui Fighter Live, there will be about a 2 to 3 minute kind of pause in the video where we transition into the replay of the Naka-Kon tournament. It is about an hour and 20 minutes just because with how many people were there, and that was cutting because it was originally almost 2 hours, and I cut out all of the
in between,
all of the
Bits
in
of filler.
between, all that stuff. So it's an hour and 20 minutes of pure tournament. But so we'll be watching that. We won't be on mic or camera at that time, but I will be in the chat. So feel free if you are there to, say hello and cheer.
or if
and
you
all
were
that.
there.
Yeah.
One more quick thing I wanted
Yeah.
to point out with Naka, we had the couple of panels that we did. Again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I completely forgot
Yeah,
about those.
those are
So,
great.
Yeah, so we were invited. So last year we were invited to do one panel about. It was one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About just how it is to be a game programmer or game designer.
Yeah.
With an industry veteran.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
So Sam V.
Such a nice guy.
I feel bad because
Yeah.
I don't know the proper way to pronounce Sam's last name
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, they've said
I
it.
need to work on
It's
it.
like
I need
Villanova or something.
yeah, I need
Yeah.
I
I
need
don't
him
remember.
to step me through it.
Sam, if you're watching this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
help us with our pronunciation.
But yeah, so he's worked for he's worked for a lot of different
Mhm.
AAA studios, including PlayStation, Crystal Dynamics.
Crystal Dynamics. Yeah, he's worked on a bunch of
So
nice big
staples.
titles.
yeah. So really, really cool to kind of to meet him, get
Yeah.
his perspective and all that. But we did one with him last year. They invited him again this year, and then he was like, I want to do more panels with you guys. So
Yep.
we did 2 panels with him. One was about, again, just kind of the video game industry. And then another one was roles specifically for to be in the game industry.
Mhm.
So both were really great. They
Yeah.
had great turnouts.
Yeah.
Even for 10, there was the first
Yeah,
panel
first
Saturday.
thing in the morning.
Yeah.
So a lot
on
of people,
Saturday,
you
yeah.
know, came in from after partying.
A
And,
little
yeah,
tired.
a
Yeah.
little tired, but it was great. We had a lot of great conversation and all that. So
Yep.
um,
Yeah, he just makes it real easy. He knows a lot, and he's just a nice guy. We've like talked with him multiple times
Oh, yeah.
after and before, and
Yep.
so yeah, it was great seeing him again.
Yeah.
the and then outside of I guess this, my fiance and I did another horror
Yeah.
panel.
Mhm.
That was another smash hit.
Mhm.
It was another completely full room, and it was about horror anime that I know nothing about. But my fiance does. So
You're slowly learning because she's making you.
and let's see, panels,
Mhm.
tournament,
Yeah.
good times all around.
Yep.
Yeah.
I bought a few things. Yeah.
Yeah.
The usual.
I didn't buy anything.
Yeah.
I did find. So my fiance really loves Eva, so she found 3 Eva
Mhm.
figures that were
She somehow didn't have yet.
right that she didn't have, and she like haggled a pretty good price. So
Yeah,
good for
yeah.
her on that. And by the way, hey Robo Kid
Oh yeah, nice.
and Mr. MKL.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Welcome. Let's see. She got those. I found vinyls that I wanted, but they were like really, really expensive.
Yeah.
Like they had a Devil May Cry, original Devil May Cry soundtrack vinyl, but they wanted it for like $90, and I was finding it around for half of that. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna order
Yeah.
this from another seller.
Yeah.
And then, but while I ordered that, they also came out with a God of War 20th anniversary
Yep.
set, so I ordered that too.
Yep. You can
And
have a lot
then-
of vinyls.
And then so the one that I'm even more excited, even though I love God of War,
Uh-huh.
the other one I'm really excited about because of how cool it looks, but I also kind of like the music, is there's a Sims collection of
Oh,
Sims
wow.
1 through 4.
Yep.
It's not all of the albums of 1 through 4. It's like the
Highlights.
highlights
from
of those 4 games on 2 like diamond green colored.
Of course.
Nice.
So I was like, "Oh my god, I need that."
Good music for cleaning the house.
Yep. The yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else in the vendor hall that I was like, "Oh my god." I guess Steve Oh, I guess that was one thing. So Steve Bloom was there.
Oh,
So
yeah,
the
yeah.
voice of
Can't forget about that.
Spike
Yeah.
on
Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop.
Yep. Yeah, they were talking about they're trying to get the rest of the main cast for Bebop
For next
to
year.
Naka. That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so my fiance was able to go meet him. I don't think she took a picture, but she did get her
Like 3 signatures or
she
something?
got one of her vinyls signed, and then also the Blu-ray collection signed.
Yep.
Nice.
And so he signed it in a way because they brought up of like, hey, we're trying to get the rest of the cast here next year, to where they can all sign like
Yep.
the vinyl under their characters. So if that
Nice.
happens, I'm sure it'll be that'll be really neat.
Then she'll need that framed and
Yeah.
And then we'll never ever use the vinyl.
yeah,
ever
yeah.
again.
Just buy a second one. Yeah.
But
I got a pile of figures and almost got a bunch of art books, and I missed the guy who usually has like anime cells. He already put them away by the time I went up there, but I already spent enough.
yeah, what is it? I was walking past the area where like all the voice actors were. There was a whole bunch of ones.
Oh yeah.
There was a bunch from oh come on. I don't watch anime. But anyway, so I was walking by them. Steve Bloom leaves, and I'm like right behind him.
Nice.
And I'm like, I hope he doesn't think I'm following. 'Cause I'm literally,
Yep.
we're literally just going the same way.
Toward the exit or whatever.
And
We
so-
did meet him before once at Naka.
yeah, I mean that was
Which was funny because he was like roaming the hall more that year. I remember when
Yeah.
he came by the booth and like we chit chatted with him for a bit.
Nice guy.
But yeah,
yeah, maybe it's just because he's like more popular now. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know.
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
if he's any more or less popular than he was before. But I know my fiance was like, I have a copy of Vanquish. I
Yeah.
really, really, really like the game Vanquish, and he plays like the main character's sergeant or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh.
It's like his boss kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so you hear him all the time. And so when she brought that up, of like, yeah, he wants to sign this, he's like, wow, that brings me back.
yeah,
I'm like, oof, the fact that you even say that, I'm like, I remember when I bought the game.
yeah.
So, but yeah, that was Naka.
Yep.
Got some new things to make our booth a little bit more efficient too. So this is nothing super fun with the game wise, but just for a booth's aesthetic, I'm excited that we're going to be doing some, or we'll have some new displays and all that there.
Mm-hmm. Lots of little things that add up and make things better over time. So,
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, in outside of events, kind of just some things I'm working on. I'm looking to revamp our website.
Mhm.
So if you've been to our website before, it's really big.
It's
That's
nice,
tall.
but
You,
yeah.
do,
Very-
you don't have to like click to anything, but it's all tall.
back when everything was infinite scroll.
Yeah, a lot of things were doing
So
that.
I'm trying to minimize what, make maybe not minimize, but like
Summarize the initial
Yeah.
land page.
Make
and
it
do
more efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my goal, to have that done within the next month for reasons that you'll know here soon.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to, and I need to get our like kind of short bits and all this stuff going. So like TikTok,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
YouTube Shorts. So I need to get that.
Sure.
Some real behind the scenes looks.
Yeah.
Like this is only kind of behind the scenes. That's like going to be the real.
I'm gonna take a video behind Shane,
Uh-huh.
Right.
Like, hey, this is behind
Need
Yep.
to give him a
Shane.
give him a little action camera so he can like get
Yep.
up there.
Yep. Check out these hitboxes.
Whoa.
So, but I think
We keep tiptoeing around it, Logan.
Uh-huh.
right. So, without further ado,
Wait, before that.
we have. So I have some I have a really exciting announcement.
Yep.
And I've been working on this for a while,
Mhm.
and I'm really, really happy that it's like super official. And in other news, we're going somewhere
Oh.
next month.
Yep.
Nobody told me. Yeah.
Yes. So, super excited that we will be showcasing Konsui Fighter at Combo Breaker
Yep.
next month on the 23rd.
Yep.
So, if you are in the Chicago area or are going to Combo Breaker, we are beyond ecstatic to be showcasing there in their indie space.
Yep.
This will be one of our first conventions that's really focused.
Yeah,
towards
this will
fighting
be
games.
the first time that we go
Yep.
to like a specific
FGC event.
FGC event.
Yep.
So it's going to be really cool. Stay tuned on our social channels because that's where I'll be posting like where we're going to be because I don't have that information yet. But we will be holding another tournament. So, and tournament for our tournament this time at Combo Breaker, every placer will get some kind of fight stick or controller,
Yep.
and a copy of the game. So,
Yep.
really, really, really excited to one show you what those look like because they're pretty sick, and two, just. These tournaments are usually always really fun.
Yeah.
So the fact that we'll be doing it there, I think is going to be really cool.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
And we have a lot of new gameplay updates that'll hopefully
Oh,
be in
yeah.
place for that. So it'll be really interesting comparatively too, just to kind of see how the Naka tournament went and how Combo Breaker goes and the evolution as we've been developing more.
And the kind of
game.
feedback we'll get and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Plus, trip up to Chicago,
Right.
new convention.
It's always a good
It'll be
time.
fun.
So, yep.
yeah, so it's a 24/7 event.
Yeah.
So we will not be there all day, every day.
You won't be.
That's right. I was going to say that's what he thinks.
But we
We
will,
have
our booth,
4 cans of 24-hour energy.
Yeah.
we take 5 bottles of 24-hour energy.
10-hour energy.
For
10 hours. 5 bottles of 10 hours energy will
for
get
50 consecutive hours of yeah.
that
I've tried
Cards
it
Against
It
Humanity
doesn't
card.
work.
No,
It
no.
doesn't.
One bottle. I don't know. That stuff doesn't work for me. But then again, neither do energy drinks. But
Yeah.
but yeah. So I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't wait.
Yep.
But other than that, I mean, that's the biggest event that we're going to be going to
Mhm.
this year for sure.
We were hopeful for another event, but that's not going through.
We're still looking at a couple other
Yeah.
options.
Plus-
next window would probably be sometime in the fall, potentially. So
Yeah.
stay tuned to our social channels and this show to learn more as we lock in
Yeah.
potential other events.
We'd
Yeah.
always like to go to more. It just gets expensive and time consuming.
Yep.
But-
yeah, I mean it's, and I'm also trying to find more. So
Yeah.
if there's events that you guys want to see us at
Yeah.
or anything like that, I mean, always hit us up in our Discord, our social channels on Blue Sky or Instagram or
Yep.
Twitter
Yep.
or
the
Facebook.
media.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, so I mean, pretty much, that kind of leads us into our what's next.
Mhm.
So, for the next month, it's pretty much kind of grinding until getting ready
Until Combo
for
Breaker.
until Combo
Yep.
Breaker. So,
Yeah, our next major release should be just before the event. It'll
Mhm.
be 2025.5. So a lot of the features that we talked about here that are coming up, we're going to be trying to get as many of those in time. And we'll probably have, I don't know, we'll probably have another stream just before the event maybe to talk about that
Yeah.
build once we get it locked in.
yes,
So,
I am planning on having us do one more before then, also to talk about, because I'll have everything. I'll have all of
all
the
the
plan,
details.
deets
all the
for-
details of
for
our
Combo
tournament,
Breaker.
where
Yeah.
we're going to be, placement,
Yep.
all that.
Yep.
So
Cool.
So I will have all that before we do that. So the we might do. So we also have a busy. We also have a busy May month because
Yeah.
it's somebody's birthday.
Multiple people.
Actually, it's
I was
somebody's
gonna say, there's,
other
like,
birthday that I'm pointing at.
multiple-
That I'm pointing at you.
Not me.
It's gonna be your birthday, and then another friend's birthday. So basically, every weekend
we
in
have
May,
a birthday
we
event.
have some kind of birthday thing.
Yep.
So it'll probably be on like a Friday night that we'll do this another Konsui Fighter live.
Yep.
Maybe I can coerce Jess to join.
We'll see. Yeah.
It might
If
be
he's
that
available.
person in that chat. I don't know.
But yeah, so that is all I have. Again,
Yep.
thank you all for joining us again.
Try out the experimental build.
Yep.
Let us know how the parry system feels.
Yeah, I mean, find us in our Discord. You can wherever you're watching us, below there should be some kind of link tree. You can join our Discord there. Follow us on Blue Sky, YouTube, all that fun stuff.
Yep.
But joining our Discord really helps. One, it's a pretty fun community. I'm pretty active in there to just get people to converse about things. A lot of gaming questions. We post a lot of updates.
Yeah.
Almost weekly, bi-weekly on just development updates on the game. Shane really, I guess I should do this.
Yeah.
Really, really wants you to try this experimental build. The biggest reason is we just added this parry mechanic.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this was something it was feedback that we received, or that people wanted, so we're implementing it, but we need to make sure that
Well, I was going to say the general feedback was more gameplay options for that close neutral footsie scenario.
Which we knew.
So
was-
parry systems
needed
is
some
something
polish.
that's been on the list for us to trial run, and I think it feels like a pretty good fit. So, but yeah, and we'll have more in the future as we work on getting those individual features stood up for the next build. You can get an early hands off and help us shape that into the final version. So.
Yeah, most of the systems are there. We're just in that final phase of polishing everything down. So
Yep.
it's the final
Polish.
Damn. Other than that, thank you all for joining.
Keep it parked right here.
Yeah,
for
I was
a
gonna
few
say,
minutes.
don't go
Don't
nowhere.
touch that die.
If you are on YouTube, there will be another stream that you will need to go to. That's going to be the Naka-Kon tournament. But if you're on Twitch, congratulations, or Kick, or Steam.
Yep.
You don't have to do anything.
Stay
Just
parked.
stay there, and we'll be watching the Konsui Fighter Naka-Kon tournament again, or together, and then again. We will not be on camera or on mic, but I will be, or we will all be in the chat.
Yep.
So feel free, blow it up, let us know. There are some really, really good fights.
Yep.
Probably the best that we've, out of all the tournaments that we've
some
had.
Really good closers.
This one was
at points.
really good.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I'm looking forward to the hype we'll get from Combo Breaker as well.
Yeah.
But this will be fun.
Those are going to be really cool too. So, all right. Well, we're gonna be right back, and then we'll start up the Naka-Kon tournament. So until next time, see you all later.
See ya.
Bye.